KingSong S19, the little follow-up to my favorite wheel of all time, the S22. The pint-sized wheel that's not so pint-sized, either in its size or in its price. No pint sizing to this thing, but does it shred a trail? We're gonna find out in our first ever trail time trial. All right, here we go. First time ever trail test. Okay, feeling good, feeling responsive. Oh, taking the wussy's way out of that one. Okay, I'll try and talk. This is our first time doing a trail test like this. This is coming in lieu of the coffee test. If you missed that, then let us know in the comments and we might bring it back, but this is a more objective way to test the wheel's abilities. We're doing a timed test on the same track of trail, same trail of track, same bit of track, trail. I can't talk, I'm too focused. You know what I mean. And we'll see which wheels get the best time. Naturally, I think they'll get better over time as I get more comfortable, but I'll do my best. Get in the zone here. Okay, hard left. Don't clip, don't clip, don't clip. Let's go. Let's go. Nice straight bit. Go over the bumpies. Oh, come on. Strong finish. Time. Yeah. Not bad. I don't know what that is good and or bad in relation to, because that was our first time ever doing this trail test. Time will tell, and I'm sure I'll get better at that once I download it. We might have to come back, but how it felt, confidence inspiring, stable, bonking off stuff, as I'm sure you'll see, like carrying speed, braking well. I'm delightfully surprised with this thing right out the gate. I'm not gonna be taking huge drops on it. I don't think the suspension's gonna handle it. It's gonna come with a coil instead of this one, but I'm pretty happy, I gotta be honest. Can you guys hear that? Is that? Oh yeah, this thing has a speaker. Let's go test it out. Okay, for our first ever sound test, we're bringing a new test in. We got the S19 setting the bar high. Let's run it through some classic sound testing, and I'll do my best to give an objective measure of how it compares to the V12. Well, I'd say that was pretty conclusive. The speaker was the best speaker, but you can't ride that down the street now, can you? The S19, shockingly not far behind. This is coming from an era of horrible speakers that shouldn't have even bothered being on an EUC, that were of no real use on the street. Speaking of, let's see how this thing actually performs sound-wise when we take it to the streets, baby! Let's go! Okay, it is time for a speaker test. Inside, hands down the best I've ever seen. But how does it sound when you're riding? That's the real question. I am not prepared. I'm gonna put on whatever I had on my phone already, which is... They let you dream just to watch them shatter, just to step on that boss man's ladder, but you got dreams you'll never take away. Wow. I want to keep going. That was transformative. That's so good. This is the first EUC speaker, and I've used them all extensively, that I would actually use while riding. I was only going like 35 kilometers an hour there. I don't care if I was going 135, dude, you would hear it. I could feel it. It was good. 10 out of 10, top of the food chain. Big fan. My favorite part about this wheel so far, probably, to be honest. It's crisp. Love it. But This is a suspension wheel, so let's see how it suspenses down some stairs. We have before us a large set of stairs and an S19. Let's see how this goes. Interesting, fun little thing to share here. This is not a button. It's just like a touch sensor kind of situation. That's what turns off the lift, or is your lift switch, but when you're picking it up, it's not gonna balance when you grab it like that. So, pro tip, balance it this way, and then get on it like this, because if I grab this, it turns off. So kind of annoying, but also, once you get the hang of it, in my opinion, a way better engineered system for this. Let's carry it up some stairs. You could, for sure, go up like this. The thing is, this handle, it's not like something I want to crank up a bunch of 90-degree things. I'm sure it'd be fine for like a couple months, but I don't know. It doesn't feel flimsy, but I don't want to be doing this over and over to it. So I'm gonna lift it the old-fashioned way. Use that sweet little cut-off button. She's heavier than she looks, okay?
A few moments later.
Okay, not bad. Would I want to carry it upstairs all day, every day? Definitely not, but way better than some of the stuff we've tested. Now, we go down. It's a goose test. Don't know what it is? Link in description. Emulating a car door being dodged, as you see. Top marks right now, patent 38 kilometers an hour. I don't know, but I'm gonna try my best. At least get a silver medal here. Let's go. This is where she gets a little dicey. Woo! Feels smooth, baby. It feels smooth. Okay, coming for second place now. Ah! Ugh! Ah! Ah! I am the tiger. Ah! Woo! Now, the question is, how fast did we go? That felt fast. That felt fast. Come on. 24, 28, 30, 32, 35, 36, 38, 39! 39.9! We got a new placeholder, baby. 39.9. We round up to 40, now we call it 39.9. A new Victor. It's smooth. It is smooth. I didn't think the patent was gonna get dethroned for a while. Confidence built quick. You know, I was complaining about not feeling confident on this thing fast. I do now. Frunk test. Bradley.
Oh.
Time. We gotta go, buddy.
All right, let me throw this in the frunk.
I do not think it's going to fit in the frunk.
I bet you a beer it'll fit in the frunk.
You are on, bitch.
We have not tried this yet. Live action, let's go.
Ruh-roh.
It don't fit. Well, you won that bet. This thing does not fit in the frunk, but
no mas.
let's go over the build quality.
Yes, let's do that. Cheers.
Got myself one too. First off, the power pads. People complaining about it because it's not modular. Now they did kind of make it a little bit more modular, but I actually find the power pads incredibly comfortable. I can accelerate them. They're probably the most comfortable stock power pads I've ever had the pleasure of riding. I wouldn't adjust them, but I'm also someone that rides a V12 without power pads. So I'm someone that doesn't need power pads. I'm more of a casual rider. I've even done crazy trail riding on the V12. Anyway, they suit it for me. As Lucas mentioned earlier, the trolley handle and the lift handle, it's actually quite nice. Very, very intuitive. It's a very smart wheel. Now, kickstand, we're gonna do a kickstand test later. The suspension on this guy, it's back to the S18 suspension, but it has 130 millimeters of travel. I don't like filling the suspension. I prefer coil suspension. We complained, KingSong, after complaining, said they would offer a coil option as well. So thank you, KingSong, for doing that. You got a CST 18 by 3 inch tire. I believe it's the same one that they put on the RS, or not the RS, yeah, the RS and the EXN. I actually like it on this wheel. For some wheels I don't. When you turn, it kind of bites in and it can kind of turn on you. But this is actually pretty good. Let's see what else, build quality. Now the battery in here is 1776 watt hours. It's 100 volt. So you still get a lot of power out of the motor. It's not 126 volts like the S22, but riding this, it still gives you that good oomph. And it does have a smart BMS, and it seems like more and we had Mexican earlier.
Keep on going, buddy.
The smart BMS is something they're starting to steer towards, and a lot of other wheels now. And I heard that Bigot is doing it very soon. The Extreme might have a smart BMS. I gotta confirm that. But water resistance, we don't know. It looks like similar to the S22. It looks decent. We're gonna refer to a teardown that Albert has yet to do, but he will be doing it because we're gonna lend him our wheel. 2 cells, 1 pack. That's his channel. Go subscribe. We will tell you all about the build quality in more detail on that. But one thing I want to point out as well is this beautiful orange plastic is not so beautiful in the sun.
Sounds nice.
Dima, cut to showing how bad it is in the sun, please. Okay, as you saw, it was pretty bad in the sun.
Not good.
The DOT display, kind of annoying. It on the top. Dima, re-roll, please. You can see that the numbers are attached, so it's actually quite hard to read.
Just one block over.
Also, we have a glitch where it stayed at 99% battery for like the entirety of our lap tests, and it just it didn't make sense. Lucas, I'm curious. I love the pads. Did you? How are you? What are your thoughts on the pads?
You know, Bradley, great question. Pads are good, all seriousness. Here's my gripe, friends. Here's my gripe. Here's my gripe, okay? If you have the right size feet, like Bradley, I don't know what that means, right size. He's got large feet like me, but the way I stand on the thing, my frickin' Achilles just jam into this so flippin' hard, man. Like we were going down the stairs, I did 3 sets of stairs 3 times, and I legitimately
bruising on your
bruising. I was like, ooh, a little tender touch. After 3, I was like, what are you gonna do after a day of trail riding? Now, I believe the speakers are removable. You see screws on the top and bottom and a cable. So if you really wanted to like go hit trails and get after it, it's kind of annoying. You can also move the pedals forward. And we haven't tried that yet. It's just where I naturally want to stand, puts my heels into the back of that. I could mitigate that with a little bit of padding, a little bit of jiggery, but it's annoying. But we're poking holes because this thing is so much better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah. I'm curious.
I mean, that's a good segue. Let's see how your ankles feel during the brake test.
That's next, right?
Let's go.
Time to yield for our stop test on the KingSong S19 in my beautiful new DOT helmet for all those that were concerned for our safety on those TSG passes. We hear ya. We're not selling them yet, but look at that. Let's brake. Great. Okay. That's not horrible, right? Okay. Here's the thing. Buttery smooth. Just not like punch you in the guts performance, which I mean you kind of expect. It's not a huge motor, but the way the pads are set up, it's got to be, it's like this or nothing, right? So I want them a little bit further forward so I can bite onto the back of them a little bit faster. But until there's custom options, it's just not really a thing. So I like to be a little bit more kind of tight in here. I can't do it with this. It's slowed down my braking a little bit, but also just the motor itself. It's not allowing me to just, with that said, we're a meter off from the V13, which I feel unbelievably can grab the handle and just on it. So it's not a huge difference. And I've never felt smoother accelerating up to that speed on such a small wheel. So overall, quite impressed. We're back at the racetrack, baby, and I found an abandoned rental bike that apparently you need to be over 19 years of age to ride unsupervised. Think of how embarrassing that would be for an 18-year-old. We're gonna race it against the brand new S19. And I'm not gonna win, but I am gunning for that A2 time of 1:21.
Let's go.
Let's see. And I'm also gonna start the timer too, so I can beat both the flagman and the timer and the racer. Beep, 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 beep. Let's go. Ah, come on, power up the gate. Power. Let's go.
Bye, Lukey.
Come on, baby.
Right away, I can tell this thing doesn't quite accelerate as much as, like, say, the Patent. But, oh man. Oh, this thing leans nice. The CST tire, if they don't like on some wheels, is quite good on this. Man, all right.
Wrong gear, wrong gear. Oh, fuck. Whoa, whoa. I'm going, buddy.
Wow, this thing is surprising me right now. I am really blown away.
I got a good gear now, baby. No chance, bro, no chance.
I am approaching the finish line. Oh, baby, let's go.
Power. Watch, baby.
Okay, that was actually quite impressive. Now, it's not going to beat a Monster Pro or an EX30 on a straightaway, but it did really well on the corners. In fact, I think it's the most stable I've felt on a wheel, and we haven't done all the tests yet, so that was like an early, I haven't had to climatize to this wheel yet, but it was very good. New riders are going to love this wheel. And it was fast. It was fast, braking feels good, corners felt good. Well done.
To the hill test.
To the hill test.
It's the hill test. We're gonna go up slowly on this steep hill and see how hot it gets. We're starting at, I think, 37 degrees Celsius. We'll see what we end at. I'm not even sweating with this thing. I can tell it's got the power, but let's find out. Like I said at the start, I'm not shocked. It went up quite easily. It was light work for the thing. One really nice thing I liked is that it didn't do the grumbly rumblies from the original S22 motor, and really the Pro still kind of did it. No grumbly rumblies, and I was really expecting it, and there was none. I tried to lurch it and make it happen, and it didn't. So from a performance perspective, no sound feedback, which was nice, but also just cranking forward on it, I was starting to accelerate quite quickly. The temperature rose from 37, I think we ended at 63, so not a huge delta in between the two. Delta, that's right, the differential between the two quotients. And yeah, it just was, again, this thing is just, it's like a smooth, enjoyable experience. And it just replicated that exact same outcome up the hill climb. And even further delighted with this wheel. Yeah.
Light test. Let's go. All right, you may have noticed that I've changed outfits. That's because we messed up the first light test. We realized that they have a 50% brightness automatic setting, and we needed to bump it up to 100%. So we were sitting here shitting on the lights. The blade of...
Those are the worst lights, like a blade of light on the night or whatever.
So now that we got it to 100%, let's do the light test all over again.
Yeah, it's looking promising.
Let's see. So this is at apparently 50% brightness, and we're getting 300, it's climbing a little bit, 360 lumen lux. If we increase that on the app to 100%, we're seeing about 473. Oh, we're getting, yeah, so, you know, at 460-ish. It's decent. It's up there, like around the patent size. It's no B13 or Sherman S light, but it's pretty good.
What's our spread?
Let's check out the spread.
Let's see it.
How wide this light is. It's not the widest, but I'm going to say it's about 6 feet-ish. Then it starts to dim off there. So not bad. I'm glad we reshot this test because we really trashed on it in the last segment. And yeah, I think it's time for the Wrecking Ball test. Lucas, 1 foot, please.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna wreck it.
Yep. You wreck it, I ball it. Oh, you're wondering what's happening right now, are you? Well, let me tell you. We're gonna start at 1 foot. We're gonna release the Wrecking ball! And we're gonna see if it knocks this over. This is a categorically empirical and unshakable way to test the stability of these wheels from lateral protrusions. Let's find out.
Let's go.
How it does at 1 foot.
1 foot.
Commence. I made a bold call here, friends. I said we were gonna go off at 2 feet. I gave it a little kick when we were outside and it didn't give me much promise. I'm thinking that we may have been on shaky grounds, and now, after kind of just looking at it in its stature here, I'm nervous.
It's gonna last 2 feet, I'm telling you.
Oh, come on, baby. It's gonna totally not fall over, but I'm calling it. Stand by my word, wrecking ball. It's going off at 3 though.
Oh, baby!
Dude,
3 feet.
couldn't have been more wrong. Couldn't have been more wrong. Commence.
4 foot failure. There we go, folks. 3 feet plus. Now for the light test.
Like
Nope,
and
that was
subscribe.
previous test. All right, range test. So the range test was interesting. I was going between 35 kilometers an hour to 55 kilometers an hour pretty much the entire test. And usually I'm posting in these tests 30% what I'm beeping at, 20% what I'm beeping at, but I wasn't getting any beeps throughout the entire test. And I was consistently going 50 kilometers an hour on the straight stretches, and I still couldn't get it to beep, which is weird for me. And at a certain point, I'm at 10% battery. I'm still going about 40 kilometers an hour. I'm slowing down a bit because it's making me nervous. It's often when you get to the lower batteries, you can't really tell how much power or battery there actually might be left in case one of the cells is a little bit lower. Anyway, I dropped it down to 3% battery, and I was still able to go close to 40 kilometers an hour with no beeps. And I was freaking me out because I'm like, why isn't it warning me? It should have voltage sag now. It shouldn't be able to go 40 kilometers an hour. It did, but very subtly I could hear this weird noise. And I hope that's not the speed alarm, or maybe that's just a low battery alarm, but you could barely hear it. You definitely can't hear it when you're moving at a normal speed. So worried me a bit. Also, the app kept crashing when it was down to 3%. It wouldn't even open. It kept giving me a BMS error, error 24, error 26 or something like that. I found that kind of odd. I couldn't even open the app to check the final voltage or whatever, and just see where the drain was. So kind of interesting, but in the end, I was able to get 68 kilometers on a full charge, which seemed higher than normal. But that being said, I would normally never drain a battery down to 3%. Not good for the wheel, dangerous because you could get voltage sag. So realistically, I'm going to say you'll probably get around 60 kilometers per charge on the S19. Let's talk about, first of all, where I've had trouble when they announced this wheel. I'm like, where does this fit into our lineup? Who's going to buy this wheel? It's not a wheel for enthusiast racers. It's underpowered in that sense. Yep. But the more I rode it, the more I loved it. And I will say, I'm an enthusiast, obviously, but I'm not a racer. I don't ride fast. I don't, I'm a casual rider in that sense, but I am an enthusiast. Yep. But I actually absolutely love this wheel, more than I thought I would.
It's annoying.
They're the most comfortable power pads I've ever wore. You can just get on and go. That was something I was worried about. People are going to want to customize the pads, and I'm sure people will figure out how to, Grizzlo will figure something out or whatnot. Yep. But I still don't know if it's going to sell for the price it is. It's not much cheaper than the S22. The lights are actually pretty cool. I didn't think I'd like them. I thought it was going to be tacky, but this thing looks better in person. Yeah. Except for the discoloration in the sunlight of this. The build quality actually seems pretty nice.
It's like, I was saying earlier today when we just had it kind of lit up and it was dark in here and we were filming another part. Like, it's the most kind of consumer ready, friendly looking wheel. Like, it just would look the sickest on TikTok, or like if somebody's like, whoa, what is that? The lights, the way it's just set up, when you see it in the dark, when you see it moving, the speakers are, as you've seen. Yeah. And I think it could be a great like intro into suspension wheels.
It could be a good beginner wheel that you can grow into, but our beginner's going to want to spend nearly $4,000 Canadian.
What about with the S16 coming so soon?
And then they have the S16, which is going to be a little bit cheaper. Yeah. So I will say we're not going to carry this wheel right away. So we're changing it up. There's too many wheels. In the last 18 months, someone posted this on one of my Facebook posts. 24 different EUCs were released. And That's insane.
Yeah.
And we can't carry them all. It just doesn't make business sense. It doesn't make sense for the consumers because these companies are now rushing out wheels.
Yeah.
We had to recall every single S22 and replace all the motors. That cost us almost $1,000 each wheel to do. Us. Yeah, not KingSong.
Yeah, not much of a
The
help.
V13, I told InMotion, I don't trust getting the first batch. I'm going to wait. And he's like, oh, don't worry. I guarantee there'll be no issues with this one. We had to replace all the motor bolts. So I don't trust EUC manufacturers anymore. I don't trust any of them, really.
What do they say? 42 times bitten, once shy, or what is it?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some more testing. We're going to wait to see what all the other samples have done, if there's any serious issues. And if there's not, we'll probably do a small run on these and see how they sell.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll sell well either. If you'll buy one, please let us know in the comments. I'm really curious. What are your thoughts on this wheel? Is it, will you buy it?
Yeah.
Do you think your friends would buy it? But I do, I hate to say it, I do love the wheel. And I think I'm going to use this one as my daily commuter now,
go-getter?
just to, because it's been fun, it's comfortable, and
It's
speakers are amazing.
It's a bit of a polarizing wheel too, because I'll just say it, they're probably my least favorite power pads.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, just because I love the front ones, but there's two things. As you saw in the braking test, I was talking about, I think the back pads are set back a bit too far, and I like that. I'm personally, Bradley and I are very different in the sense I love being locked in. Like I like my grizzless pretty much like touching my leg at both times. I'm just like ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. And these are quite spread out and quite slippery, so I just feel like kind of when I'm going to brake, it's like, whoa, okay, now I'm catching, and there's just that like in between ground, kind of like a loose brake cable, you know, it's like I need a lot of, and
That's
also
why it's so
these,
subjective, right? Like
these freaking things.
Oh yeah.
If your feet are a certain size, for me, I found a way after riding it for a while that it kind of worked, but I had to completely modify the way I stood on the wheel, and it ended up being fine.
I mean,
So,
I have 11.5 feet. You have.
Yeah, I don't know
We're
if
on
it's
the same
like
size,
if
right?
it's just maybe a
But
standing position.
I think it's just your
thing.
stance. You're further back on the wheel. I'm further up on the wheel.
But they'll probably, again, someone else will probably get annoyed with that, and some hacker will find some way to put some padding on the back of the speaker and make it better, or trail riders who want to use this wheel, who love it on trail, which, by the way, as I said earlier, I think during the trail part, it was fantastic. It's nimble, it accelerates quick enough, it handles, like, you know, you can suck your feet in, and if you pop up and jump up stuff, the pads keep you up enough to allow you to really get quite agile. But there's definitely going to be some interesting ways, since we're stuck around a hard physical thing. I'm really curious to see how the builders and the printers make some aftermarket stuff. There'll
come up with some stuff.
There'll be
for
some
sure.
cool stuff for sure.
Begode, if it's popular enough. If it's not popular enough, no one's going to make accessories for it. So we have the Begode Extreme in the house. We don't have the batteries yet. So
when did that come?
Yesterday. It's right there. So we're excited about that. And then we also have the InMotion Adventure that I'm kind of excited about. More excited than I thought I would be. So
every new wheel is exciting.
We will see how that one performs, but they're claiming 50-degree grades, which is just ridiculous. I don't want to see how that's possible. 50 degrees is...
That's like
doesn't make
vertical,
sense.
man.
Doesn't make sense. But excited to try it, and we're not going to carry them all. We're going to be a lot more selective. We're not going to be the most selection. It's going to be quality over quantity at EVs from now on. Only curated products. If we sell something that we don't sell something that you want to buy, please support the other dealers. Alien Rides, eWheels, they're great, but we're not going to carry everything going forward. And if you do want a wheel that we do carry, we always appreciate your
We'd like to
business.
sell it to you. We'll treat you very well. Anything else? Oh, one thing, kind of gripe, because like it's, as you've probably seen in our videos, if we really like a wheel, I'm very cognizant of us not just being like total sycophants and just being like, oh, it's great, it's perfect, it's fantastic. Obviously, we're not even carrying this, and we're admonishing the company after we're praising it, so we're trying to be balanced. I still don't know how I feel about the design with the front handle. So when you grab this thing, it is the lift switch. I really like it when I'm using the lift switch, but there's been so many times where I've been trying to just like move the wheel around, and I go to grab it, and it's like, it turns off, and I'm like, ah, shit.
You got to get in the habit of using the trolley handle, which is annoying when you're so used to picking a wheel up and moving it.
Or I have my foot on it, and I'm literally just going to like adjust my foot, and I like go to put my foot on it, and it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. The nice thing is you can disable it in the app.
Yeah.
So if you like the feature, you want to get used to the feature, it does take some getting used to.
Yeah.
I've grown to really like it. Then it's great, but if not, then you know. But that's it.
I turn off the button on the lift switch on the S22. It's still my favorite wheel to this day, S22 Pro for life. And I just use the power button as the lift switch, because I hated moving my seat and pulling the thing back, and it would flop down. And
as a veteran user, I've been used to turning off wheels to lift them all the time.
Yeah,
so
it's no big deal.
thanks for watching.
Yep.
And make sure you pay extra close attention to our last few videos.
Right. All right. Follow the golden dragon into the dungeons, for truth is only there for those who are worthy. Think about it.
Ooh, that was too good of a clue almost.
Yeah, well, those who, the centipede-eyed will know the truth behind the shovel. Think about it.
Fun Slinger, Shred Labs, Pump Track.
Right. That's it.
Open. Are you stoked to go ride?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Paint the walls with the blood of your enemies, okay?
Paint the walls with the blood of your enemies.
I gotta make sure I'm in the right gear here. One sec. Oh, that's not the gears.